Kanda, or China Yabo in South. Nipa the Sunity move Banan so one a Becca. I did see a Beshamin send America try a review. So there by whom you knew me and Sansa see how Beshana ya feel. Kwame or him, your chain near your home beam. Kwame or Han kwa you, after your cow regime. Nipa America craving, and Tina Buchetti, Menu Semumino. Yeah, Menu Semumino. Yeah, Ghana, this is your boy Kobe K, Bank of Music. Why you the fear? We are calling you to rap. Peace.
City TV is live on DSTV. Go to channel 363. On GoTV, access City TV on channel 182. On a digital TV, please press the menu button on the remote control and run a new search on your TV. Take note that without an antenna, you cannot access City TV on your television. City TV can be accessed on a free-to-air digital box like the GoTV and Star Times box. City TV, it's your world.
Good morning and welcome to Breakfast Daily. What a beautiful Monday morning it is.
It's actually a great morning. I love the weather.
Yes. I mean, these days, oh gosh, I mean, I wish the weather would just stay like this the entire day.
Well, others will not be happy too because they need the sun for
other things. Oh, yeah. Anyway.
But it's generally a great day, and we're hoping that this week is going to be amazing.
Yeah. Well, wherever you're watching us in the world, all over Ghana, with all the 16 regions of Ghana, anywhere in Africa, anywhere in the world, welcome to Breakfast Daily. My name is David Kwekusechi.
And my name is Zoe Abubedu Ado.
Now, every day we start a show off with a quote of the day. So let's take a look at our quote for today, and we'll continue the show. So the quote of the day today comes from Dalai Lama, the Dalai Lama, and it says, happiness is not something ready-made. It comes from your own actions. Happiness is not something ready-made. It comes from your own actions. So basically, you cook up your happiness.
Yes.
That's what he's saying.
You are responsible for how you feel.
Yeah.
Others or people do things that make you feel sad, make you depressed, but ultimately your happiness lies in your hands.
Yeah.
So you decide whether you make people make you who they want to be or who you want to be.
Yeah. No, I think it's a very important thing. Your reaction to things, you know, is always the key. The thing is that you can't control what happens around you, right? So let it happen, but then how do you respond or react to those things? That determines how you.
Well, and see, and there are others who also say that, well, it's not as easy as you want it to seem, because there are things that happen to you that are so painful, that are so, I mean, it really breaks you.
Yeah.
But over time, you can get over it. How fast you're able to do it is what matters.
Yeah. Well, talking about painful experiences, yesterday, keyboard idol, oh Lord.
Saturday.
Saturday, yes. First eviction. I think has stuck with me so much. I even thought it was just yesterday, you know. It was heartbreaking, you know, to see somebody have to go home. But it's a competition, you know, and it will happen. I think we should take a look at what happened on Saturday.
The first person to leave the keyboard idol competition is from the results, it's obvious that this is the end of the road for Vinyo Anko. Let's take a look at his journey so far.
you started well. There are a few mistakes, but the B wasn't very clear. But I like the way you came back to the A.
The second part, I think it's on Pokyo, something with tempo. It has something to do with tempo. A little bit faster. I didn't feel it.
You need to practice it, over practice so you can be fluent in it.
Well, I feel slightly disappointed in my performance because I could have done it better. And I'll take the judges' comments to heart so that next time I can do it better.
You real. Nana Kweku. Bess Marie. Kelvin. Nanayao. Irajwa. Justice. Joel. Chris.
All right, so those were the happenings on Saturday evening on Keyboard Idol. Very exciting competition there. Rather unfortunate that, it's a competition, so some people will have to go home from now on. Every week, somebody is going to go home. So it's important for you to vote, 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 vote. Don't forget it. It's *447 *973 #. That's the code to use when you're voting. And remember, you can vote as many times as you want to. All right, so don't say you're waiting for the church members, you're waiting for the family members, you're waiting for others to vote. No, you vote. Vote as many times as you want for your contestant, to keep them in the competition. But yes, so we want to say, I just want to send out a word of encouragement to Vinyo Anku, that you're already a winner anyway, you know, just by participating in the competition and getting into the top 10. So this is definitely just the beginning, and there are many, many years ahead of you of many other opportunities that will come. Yes.
And I'm glad they had a boot camp before the whole program began, the whole episode began, because it gives them some sort of morale, and they were spoken to extensively, they were psyched before they came into this competition. So I actually believe in that he's not down. I mean, you'll be sad, but by this time I'm sure he's good to go. And we know that he's going to do exploits, he's going to do great things. So all the best to the 9 remaining contestants. And as Kweku said, keep voting, because you never know. Just one vote.
One vote counts.
Yes.
Every single vote
can make the change and can make the difference. So,
and remember that the voting stays open from Saturday night when the competition was on, all the way to Thursday, 5 p.m. Voting stays open. So vote, 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 vote. If you voted yesterday, vote again today. Vote today, vote again tomorrow. Keep voting, voting, voting. Add as many votes to your contestant as possible. Yeah, but over the weekend.
Yes, so many things happened over the weekend. So I was at work. I worked over the weekend, and I had a great time with the return of the Premier League, and I was glad what Leeds was doing, but they couldn't finish the thing for me. You get it? So, I mean, just around that time.
Well, you're talking to the wrong person, because, you know, we knew what was up already. Yes. So, Liverpool, look, we took it last year. We're taking it again this year.
Really?
Oh, yeah. You know.
And look at your defending champions. Look at your opening match.
No.
It was
opening
horrible.
match. Listen, opening match. You see, this is jabba, jabba, jabba. That's what the people talk about. And at the end of the day, you ain't going to go nowhere. You know. So
just around that time. Just around that time, watching the Premier League, the match between Leeds, and then I go on social media, and I'm seeing a professor has been stabbed to death, and in fact I was shaking because other media houses, when they had gone there earlier, and you see the house, and I'm wondering how somebody was able to actually walk through that door, walk into the house, stab this man, and like you tie him up, and the door was locked. They didn't pick anything, they didn't break anything, and that's it. His life is just lost like that. Very, very sad.
It's really, really terrible. You know, it's really, really terrible. So you can see it on your screen there. There's some messages coming of condolences there. It is with a heavy heart that we inform you about the demise of one of our lecturers, Professor Emmanuel Yao Bene. A call to the Dean confirmed the news, but we are yet to have the details on the occurrence of this unfortunate demise. May his soul rest in peace. This came from the University of Ghana social media page. It's terrible. And initially, some people were saying, well, it could have been a robbery gone wrong and so on. But there's nothing taken.
They didn't pick anything.
So clearly, you know, it wasn't a robbery that went wrong. No, nothing was.
And that is how come people think this was an insider job. Now the police is investigating the matter. 4 people, I mean, they are the immediate suspects because they used to work close with him. And I understand that most of his domestic workers used to live close by. So as and when he needs them, he calls them. So they have been picked up. Police is investigating the matter. We spoke to the Accra Region Police PRO and DSP Efiatinge, who spoke about the issue. Now, the issue has been moved from the East Legon Police Station to the Regional Command. And what saddens my heart is we haven't been able to resolve previous murders. Talk about JB Dankwa. It's 4 years. It's been 4 years.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
And
honestly.
the case is still in court. The suspect today this, tomorrow that. That's fine. We allow the justice system, I mean, to take its path, to take its course. Ahmed Swali was killed last year. Nobody has been apprehended. so many, the GPHA boss.
Yeah.
I mean, you can count on and on and on. And we still haven't had closure to any of these murders. Someone said to me, says, Zoe, I am scared. Because
it could be anybody.
It could be
anybody at any point in time. Anyway, so our colleague Duke Mensah Opoku was there and brought us a report. Let's take a look at that report. We'll continue the conversation.
Former colleagues and students of Professor Yaw Bene expressed shock and sorrow on social media after the news of his killing broke on Saturday. Friends had converged to commiserate with the bereaved family when City News visited the Adringano residence of the deceased. Nephew of Professor Bene, Yaw Bene, narrated how the family discovered the murder.
On Friday, her sister, who lives not too far from here, didn't hear anything from him, and that was a bit unusual. But she waited till Saturday morning, which was yesterday morning, and because he wasn't responding to any phone calls, they felt that something was amiss, so they had to come and find out. So they got the assistance of a carpenter who works in the neighborhood, and he managed to open up the door at the rear of the house, and lo and behold, there was our uncle lying with his hands and legs tied up, and his body lifeless. And this was a huge blow, because we've all known my uncle to be someone who is peace-loving, very affable. He wouldn't hurt a fly. So I think we had to start sending word around to members of the family, and those of us who were informed came to witness. The police were immediately informed, and they came with a team to convey the body to the police hospital.
Kojo Bene urged the police to act swiftly to bring the perpetrators to book.
We are trusting that the police service would bring their professionalism to bear in their investigations, so that in a very short time we'll get to know who the actual perpetrators of this crime are.
Meanwhile, the Greater Accra Regional Police Command has arrested 4 persons regarding the death.
The police have picked up 4 persons who have come under suspicion in the murder of the law professor in his home at Adringano. They are currently being interrogated as part of police investigations into closing up on the culprits. All these 4 persons are domestic workers to the deceased. The police would communicate development that will not compromise investigations to the public in due course.
An atmosphere of solemnity, sorrow, calm, and shock at the residence of Professor Emmanuel Yaw Bene, whose passing has pricked the national conscience about matters of unresolved murders, and it's very clear from the interactions with the family that justice must be served the family. It's a very solemn atmosphere, wailings in the background, family members still not able to grapple with the sudden departure of their beloved. Reporting for City News from the Adringano residence of Professor Emmanuel Yaw Bene, my name is Duke Mensah Opoku.
So that was our colleague Duke Mensah Opoku reporting from the official residence of the late Professor Emmanuel Yaw Bene. It's so sad.
Yeah. And I think the worst part of it for me is the all the unknowns, you know, in the story.
Yes.
Of course, the police will do their investigation, but we are, like you said earlier, we're in this country, we've been in this country, and we've seen, you know, some sluggishness, as it were. I'm not sure what it is, incapacity, I'm not sure what it is, but we seem to lack a certain ability to finish off these investigations in a very succinct, clear, quick way. You know, that sends a clear message to anybody who is even thinking about committing such a crime that, look, the last 3 or 4 things that happened, they found them quickly, found them in their hideouts, wherever they were, investigated, prosecuted, found themselves in jail. You know, when we don't send a message that strongly, it allows people to, look, it's a free for all. You know, people just have a field day doing whatever they want. Somebody sits in his house and says, come and take 1,000 cedis, go and kill this person. And, you know, and it happens.
Yes.
Do you see? So I think that the police need to I don't know what they need in terms of resources to be able to do these things and to do them effectively.
But, you know, Kweku, we always hear, okay, police has been given 30 motorbikes, 50 vehicles to boost, because most of these cases, especially when around down far, where we used to do a lot of stories, they used to complain lack of police stations, lack of vehicles. The police service has been resolved. I'm not saying vehicles are the only things they need to, I mean, resolve some of these things. But this is a man, since Thursday, they hadn't heard from him till Saturday morning, when they felt that, no, something is wrong. I appreciate the fact that we have CCTV cameras in parts of Accra, but we should be working towards getting these cameras in advantage points. If this happened elsewhere, they would have quickly gone back, played
pick up a tape, you know, play it back.
We haven't gotten there yet. But what you see, sometimes these things frustrate me so much that
me too.
You don't even know what to say again. You don't know what to do. It's like your security is in your own hand. You have to be double sure. When you are driving, you have to be triple sure. When you are moving into your house, I mean, what else can you do? These things happen, but I don't know. Honestly, it's something that I really don't know what to say, because it happens, we speak about it, it becomes a national issue, 1 week, security, and mind you, we are going to an election year. And this is the time where people take advantage and do a lot of, I mean, heinous things. So I know the police is doing its best. We are not here to say that you are not doing your best. You are doing your best, but I don't know which other ways we can help the police. And it's about time. You see, that is the problem we have when people have a perception that the police, I mean, it should be decoupled from any political interference. Well, when that is done, I mean, you realize that the police is able to discharge its duties without fear or favor. You get it? The political interference is too much. Let's allow the police to work. When they need resources, we fund them. We cannot defund the police. We have to fund the police.
Well, I think, I mean, Zoe, the thing is that for us to decouple the police from politics, it has to happen from the Constitution. That's the first place. You know, because the entire police structure is actually under the government, you know, directly under the government and under the executive, you know, so
no problem.
It makes it,
but the situation where government changes hands, then the IGPs change. Meanwhile,
but you see, that's because of the Constitution. So if we want to have security of tenure of office, right, then there has to be that decoupling from the Constitution.
When you retire, you retire.
Done, exactly. When it's done from that point, then the executive cannot interfere. You know, so of course, look, listen, sorry, if your paymaster is the president, then you better sing, you better play the tune properly and, you know, sing the correct tune. Otherwise, you're going to lose your salary.
We need safety. We need to be safe. Our security is not the best. And we just pray and hope that the police will get to the end of this particular issue, because it's really disturbing. We still haven't heard anything from Ahmed Swale's death. We haven't apprehended anywhere. The GPHA board, she was one of the directors. Yeah, we haven't heard anything from that case, and that also happened in 2018. So we just want closure to all these cases, and then we can build, continue building our trust in the police service.
Absolutely. Well, we have a packed show for you today. Up next is News Review. There's nutrition coming up. There's a cooking segment coming up. But don't stay tuned. We'll be right back after these messages. My name is David Kwekusechi.
And I am Zoe Apubeduado.
See you soon.
There is nothing as hard as a diamond. For buildings with superior strength that withstand all weather conditions, Diamond Cement should be your preferred choice. Locate Diamond Cement nationwide with factories in Aflao, Takrady and Bupe. Diamond Cement, as hard as a diamond.
Good to have you back. My name is David Kwekusechi, and on this segment of the show, it's interactive, so kindly use the hashtag Breakfast Daily for us to hear what you're thinking and contributing to the show. Also, we have a WhatsApp line, is 0550585832. Now, I'm going to go through the headlines of the dailies that we have here. We'll do some online stories. I'll come back and then we'll have a conversation with my guests who are already seated. Now, on the front page of the new Crusading Guide, D-Day for Ken Ejapong, all eyes on judiciary over threats on judge's life. President cut short for Bunu Region Solid Waste Plant. Michael Quay advised to stay away from Afro-Bruni Awards. Togbe Adzima V congratulates Ekufuado as ECOWAS chairman. MOE exposes NDC's opportunistic and desperate plots. Okay. On the front page of the Finder, 4 persons arrested in connection with UG law lecturer's death. Dr. Bawumia commissions Zipline's 3rd medical drone center at Vopsi. €30 million water project. President cut short at Wenchi, and is going to benefit 92,500 residents. ICOMS rakes in 4.6 billion Ghana cedis. On the front page of the Ghanaian Times, 4 domestic workers arrested over Prof. Bene's murder. 531,705 candidates begin BECE today. 15 heads of state arrive in Accra today to discuss happenings in Mali. Floods, Dagre Bam spillage fallout. Canoes ferry 210 BECE students at Saboba to write exams in various centers. And on the front page of the Daily Graphic, MBSSI disburses 50 million Ghana cedis. This is for COVID-19 support to private schools. ECOWAS meets at Pedrasi tomorrow. And Bridget Jogbenuku leads NPPP. Okay. Let's do some online stories. And on citynewsroom.com. Parliament to furnish special prosecutor with documents on a Japan deal today. A Japan royalties deal stinks. Rejected, Prof. Alabi tells youth. 2020 BEC begins today. Mali crisis. Akufo-Addo to convene ECOWAS consultative meeting on Tuesday. Family of slain UG lecturer urges police to quickly resolve case. And on citybusinessnews.com, NDC MPP manifestos lack plans for revenue generation. This is coming from Economist. Beauticians witness increased patronage as government eases COVID-19 restrictions. Tullow Oil PLC commends resilience of Ghana's operations despite difficult times. Telecoms Chamber urges businesses to use CST reduction to enhance efficiency. Authorize conversion of leases and permits to timber utilization contracts. This is a group to the government. And on My Joy Online, Akufo-Addo to hold consultative meeting with ECOWAS leaders on Mali crisis at Pedrasi. All right, for more news, kindly visit citynewsroom.com. And for more business news, kindly visit citybusinessnews.com. All right, so moving forward, my guests are already seated. Let me introduce them to you. I have with me Elvis Darko, who's the editor of the Finder newspaper. Good morning, Elvis.
Good morning.
Yeah, how are you doing?
I'm good, yourself?
I'm very well, thank you. And I also have Kwame Jantua, who is a lawyer, former vice chair of PIAC. Good morning, Kwame.
Morning, David. How are you?
I'm all right. You look younger than you looked the last week.
Really?
Yeah.
Our God is good.
What have you been up to?
Nothing much. I've been busy this weekend on the manifesto.
Oh, okay.
But something I know it's not one of the topics you're dealing with. But if
something's got your attention.
Yes, it's got my attention, and I don't understand why. We are fond of breaking laws. Maybe Elvis and yourself will be able to tell me what is the directive on chiefs getting involved in politics.
Ah, okay.
I mean,
they are not allowed to.
So I didn't understand why Nanado visited. Was it the Bono area?
Yeah.
Was it the Bono area or the Bono area? In that area. Over the weekend. Where he cut the sword.
He cut the sword.
And
that's generally
the chief, categorically was playing politics.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the president didn't say anything. And that's against the law.
Yeah, but...
But what?
No, I'm just asking that. I mean, at such an event, should the president say something?
Why not? Why not? Why not?
Okay. Well,
no. So, if the president goes somewhere and he sees someone categorically breaking the law, wasn't he able to say it? He's the president. We follow what he says. And I don't think that is right. I don't think it's something that is right. Somebody should have said something to that chief, because it is not allowed. It's against the law.
Well, you have the platform, so
that's why I'm saying it
to the chief.
That's why I'm saying it. Chiefs are not supposed to get involved in politics. When the president goes and visits Asante Hene, he does not, say anything about politics. He advises him, but steers away from it. It's wrong. If chiefs want to get involved in politics, they need to put their stool down and come and join us in
the politicking.
The politicking and the challenges of politics. It is wrong. It is wrong. Chiefs should be warned. And a certain statement should come out after that, warning chiefs not to get involved in politics. It's against the law.
Well, we want to take the first story. Prof. Yao Bene of blessed memory. Very unfortunate story there. 4 people have been picked up. The story, we have it here in the Finder newspaper. Let me just quickly read that. So 4 persons arrested in connection with the UG law lecturer's death. The police have arrested 4 domestic staff of the late Professor Bene to assist investigations into his death. They are 32-year-old cleaner, Christian Pobi, who is a native of Aguna Sredro, Isaac Botry, houseboy, native of Gomatakwa, James Nana Womba, 26-year-old cleaner from Asante Mampong, and Adams Mensa Mansour, 52-year-old gardener and a native of Winneba. Deputy Superintendent of Police, DSP Ifiatenge, head of Public Affairs Unit of the Accra Regional Police Command, who told the Ghana News Agency in Accra, said the command had taken over the case. Professor Emmanuel Yao Bene was a senior law lecturer at the University of Ghana Law Faculty. He was found dead in a pool of blood at his Ajingano home, a suburb of Accra. DSP Tenge said on Saturday, September 12, 2020, at about 7:30 a.m., a report was received by the East Legon police that Professor Bene had been found dead at his residence, and the police crime scene investigation team from the Criminal Investigation Department proceeded to his residence, where they found him lying in a pool of blood with some cuts on the body. The body, she added, had been deposited at the police hospital morgue pending further investigations. Now, let me start with you, lawyer. What do you make of what we know so far about this story?
Good morning. Good morning to our viewers and listeners. It's very difficult to know what happens behind closed doors.
Yeah.
And for me, there are 2 sides to the story. Incidentally, I heard that Manasseh Azuri has been able to get some more news on this. And your other station colleague, Joy FM, doing a piece on it this morning. Unfortunately, I can't listen to it, but we'll hear as the day goes on what he's saying. There are 2 sides to it. The first side is the actual act. What happened, what caused this death, the manner in which it was executed. Unfortunately or misfortunately, he lives alone. And so I heard Zoe talk about having cameras around and things like that. We don't anticipate such things to happen. It's not a normal occurrence. But this is the second time I can say it's happened that we know of. J.B. Danko is one, and Professor Ben is one. Why anybody would kill somebody and tie them up, goes to tell me that there must have been some heavy intent to kill him. He wasn't found dead on his bed.
No.
He was found dead, bound and cut. It goes to also show that there was quite a lot of time for this thing to be executed. And there was time for them to leave the house. The other side of the story is whether the police have the wherewithal to be able to get down to this particular murder. Yes, they say they have rounded up some of the people who work in his house, his employees. But they've rounded them up for questioning. They haven't charged them with anything at the present moment. So we still don't know who committed this heinous act. Mine is that we are able to drill down to who did this.
Yeah.
This is the same Professor Bene that was cited in the scandal at the university, was it, with the other professor, what's his name? I forget his name. With regards to the sex for...
No, I'm not sure.
No. He's not the same.
Is not part.
He's not part of it.
No.
So who was the other one?
There's another professor, something, but it's not Benny.
Okay, it's not Benny. Okay, because I heard somewhere that it was him, and I wasn't sure.
No, it is not. He's not part of it, please.
So, he seems to be somebody who is respected.
Very much
He seems to be somebody who has social standing. So I was asking myself over the weekend, what could have caused this? What could have caused this?
Yeah.
We don't know. Let's hope that the police can investigate and investigate thoroughly, because I'm sure, in Ghana, one person dies and it affects a whole
lot of people.
And so we just pray that the truth comes out. And if the truth comes out, we're not going to wait 10 years for this case to be executed in the courts. It has to be done quickly, because the family would want some kind of punishment to the person who did this heinous crime. So it's sad. We've lost a luminary. He was a law professor. He has done quite a lot for the university in terms of his ability, his capacity, and a huge gap, I'm sure, has been created in the University of Ghana. So we pray that the family can console themselves, and Ghanaians too can console the family, those who know the family very well, to deal with this death, which is very unfortunate. Very unfortunate.
Now, let me come to you, Elvis. You wrote this story here in the Finder. What, as far as you're concerned, juxtapose this one with the other unresolved situation that we find ourselves. What can we do to stem the tide of these murders, and then also to actually bring resolution to some of these cases?
Well, first of all, I'll say that this is a man that lives in a very plush environment, a place for people, you can say, the elites of Ghana. If you look at the house he lives in, he's really worked hard in life to be able to put up that house and enjoy in it. So you will be considered as one of the affluent members of Ghana society. So the question is, if a member of the Ghanaian affluent community can be killed in that manner, what about the ordinary Ghanaian who lives in my area, who lives in my village, who lives in where there is not even a gate? The house does not even have a wall nor a gate. How can those of us who live in these places feel safe when somebody who lives in such a plush building with the gate and all the security has been killed in this manner? It is very worrying. It sends a very worrying signal to those of us who live in places where the houses do not have a gate and all that. We ask ourselves, if this person can be killed in this manner, what about us? So this is a very important, and once again it brings to light the security challenges in this country and high-profile murders in this country, which as we speak, many are yet to be resolved. Ahmed Suale is one, J.B. Dankwa is one. You cannot forget the music producer Jeff Fenech Ochre. And many more you can mention.
The GPHA.
There are so many unresolved.
Is it commercial bank? Tema.
Many unresolved murder cases, high profile murder. So you see, The concern is that if these people who are affluent in society, who live in some of the most protected areas or most elite areas, get killed, and these are very prominent people in our society, and we don't have the issues resolved, it tells you a picture that the many poor people who are being killed by the day, nobody cares about them. And that sends a very worrying signal to the ordinary Ghanaian and said, that means that for us, we are not safe. Because if the people who are even considered to be the decision makers, the affluent, die in this manner, and yet we cannot resolve their murders, how much more those of us who get killed anyhow? And this is an issue that we have not been able to pressurize the police enough in this country. And I'm so disappointed in Parliament that as we speak, they've not been able to probe the police service about the death of J.B. Dankwa. There were a lot of allegations by many people, and very many prominent, including members of Parliament, who believed and made allegations that the police did not handle the investigation well. If they had, they would have caught the right suspects. Including members of Parliament have made this allegation. And I can remember the name of Edward Enin, former member of Parliament for Wasi, and he categorically said certain things that he claimed are clear evidence to show who was responsible for JB's death. Honorable Kennedy Pong was one of the people who made a lot of issues. There were a lot of information that circulated in society that, look, if the police had acted professionally and have done a good job, for JB, we would have known the killers by now. But 4 years down the line, a member of Parliament is killed. Even the Parliament itself is not concerned. Parliament itself is not concerned. So if a member of Parliament can be killed and for 4 years there is no justice, what about us? Around the same time JB was killed, and an MP in UK was also killed. Within 4 months, 6 months, the culprit was arrested, prosecuted, and sent to jail. So if you look at the two issues, you ask yourself, are we safe? Nobody is saying that there will not be crime in Ghana. There's no single country in the world where there's no crime. Every country records crime because it's part of us as human beings. But then when it happens, it is the approach of the security agent, how they are able to deal with it, that gives the people a certain sense of security, that even if the crime should happen, we believe that our people can deal with it. Yes, elsewhere there are crimes that have been committed and for 30, 40 years have not been resolved. Yes, with all the technology, everything, yes. But I think that in Ghana, ours is becoming too much, especially when it comes to high-profile murders. It's about time we begin to ask questions. And nobody is asking the question. That's why I have always said that until we give the police an ombudsman institution like an independent police complaints commission, the police will never deliver to the people of Ghana as we wanted them. Because even when they go and mess up, they are their own judges in their own court, and they go scot-free. Nobody asks them questions. Each year the police will give us, we have this number of crimes recorded in 2014. Oh, these ones are pending. The following year, 2015 recorded this number of cases. They don't tell you the status of the 2014 pending cases. They don't give you any statistics on that. Elsewhere, the independent police complaint actually prepares a report to Parliament on the operations of the police service in their country to tell them how the police has performed, the number of crimes they have recorded, the number they have been able to deal with, the number the following year they look at the previous year's outstanding cases that have been dealt with. Ghana police have never given that record. Nobody is holding them accountable. The media is quiet, the Parliament is quiet. We are not really asking the police the relevant questions about crime and how they are tackled in this country. And until we begin to ask the right questions, things like this will continue to happen. And they will give all kinds of squeeze and go and sleep. Because nobody is proven. I believe that in the case of JB, with what has gone on, and what even members of Parliament have said, that they claim they knew about some of these issues, I believe Parliament should have had a probe into the actions of the police service by now. But the Parliament service is not concerned. And you see, I'm not saying that the police service should be able to solve, but I'm saying that what is happening is scary. We should be mindful and we should be able to ask the police the hard questions and be able to push them hard to do the job. Once I blame the police service, as a country we have failed in so many ways. And it is one of the reasons the police service too can give you excuses. As we speak today, we don't have any credible electronic data roll of Ghanaians. So if you are not a criminal that has been arrested before, and the police are taking your fingerprints, and you go and commit a crime, and the police get the same and even find your fingerprint, they can't find you. Because there's no database for them to go and cross-check to know whose fingerprint it is, for them to even get your picture and know that it is Elvis who has committed this crime. So they go to the crime scene, they may get a fingerprint, but there's no database to cross-check. They can only cross-check those that they have arrested before and taking their fingerprints. So that is why it's so sad that we are sat by National Identification Authority project for over 10 years and we will not be able to complete. These are some of the things that will help curb crime in this country. Because with a database, if the police will find any small evidence of fingerprint, they could easily cross-check from the database and can know that, this fingerprint matches to Elvis, and this is Elvis's picture. So let's put Elvis's picture out there as the person who is suspected for a crime, and let's go and chase the person. So I believe that we have failed, and that's why for this time, we must all put pressure on the government to release any funding that is needed to the NIA to make sure they complete their work, for the data to go live, so that some of these things can be done. Because as a country, race issues our borders, people cross the borders to this country anyhow. If you follow the arrest of criminals in Ghana for the past 2-3 years, you realize that a lot of these heinous crimes that people get arrested, you see a lot of foreigners' names in it as people who are responsible for this crime. It tells us that something is wrong with our border management infrastructure. And our national identification system does not exist for us to even know that Kojo entered the country on this date. We found these fingerprints of Kojo. Kojo is from country A. Can we send the database to that country if he has run back for them to check and arrest? These are issues that we are sitting not doing anything about. So once I blame the police, and I think that it's about time we begin to make serious calls into the actions of the police service. It's about time we begin to call for a complete restructuring and turn around on the police for them to have the independence they deserve. These things will happen. There will be a judge in their own court, because the people that they claim that they used to investigate themselves are their own court judges in their own court. And therefore, if we don't ask the hard questions, if we don't demand that we have independent police complaints commission in this country, police will continue to mess up. They will continue to fail us. We will never get any answers from anybody. Nobody will be held accountable for their failures.
Okay, David, so, just a quick one.
Okay, before you make the point, just as added to your point as well, I'm asking the question: is it time for us to decouple the police from the executive?
Okay, before I come there, and remind me if I forget. Elvis, why are you segregating affluence from ordinary? Death is death. It doesn't really matter.
No, I'm talking about it doesn't when you live in a place like that.
Just a minute.
Your level of security is higher.
It doesn't matter.
It matters.
Death is death.
No, I'm not talking about death. I'm talking about where you live. If somebody lives in a house gated and people can enter and kill, what about me who live in that house no gate?
Exactly.
I'm talking about the infrastructure.
So that is the point I'm making.
It's not about the death. I'm talking about if you live in an affluent community, it's considered that you should have a higher grade of security than the person who lives in a place that
it goes to show that it's not so. Because if it was so, they would have been able to
but they are able to bridge it.
Exactly.
Okay? So if they are able to bridge it, then mine will easily be bridged, because mine is not as sophisticated as
but if it so happened that the security was tight in the area, it might not have happened. So for me, death is death anywhere. Now, I ask a question. The new ID card, if somebody shows it, the police stops you and says, "Where's your ID?" And the police, they show it, and it's an ID card, will that be the end? The fact that somebody has shown it, will that be the end? When you go to certain countries and they ask you to show your ID, they take the ID and they actually instantly
check it in the system.
Check it in the system.
Yeah, because they have been
check it in the system to see that whether the ID you're showing is authentic.
No, but lawyer, let's be.
But my point is not about showing it.
No, I'm saying. I'm not going by what I'm saying. Yeah,
let's be fair. The truth of the matter is that the database is not yet live, because we are just at the tail end of data collection, right, and the issuing of cards. A lot of people have their cards now. Not everybody has their card yet. And the system is not yet live.
Are we saying?
So once it goes live, then we can start to ask those questions, whether the police are now making use of the database.
David, are we saying that it's only based on the issuance of this card that the data should be in place. Is that what you're saying?
No, but here's the thing. We're now doing the data collection.
You're not getting me.
What's your point?
I'm saying that if it weren't for this new ID card, are we saying we won't have data?
No, we don't.
So, and then that's a question I'm asking.
And so we are now doing the data collection and we are tied to the card.
What I'm trying to get to is that we are far late.
Of course we are.
I'll give you an example.
But it's better late than never.
I said I'll give you an example. It's better late than never is not good enough. I'll give you an example. You're driving on the streets of London. Policeman stops you. Before the policeman gets out of his car, he has information.
Because your number plate.
It's true. Because your number plate will have.
And that's the point I'm making.
Okay.
We've had DVLA here for how many years?
Yes.
Could we not have started from that point?
Well, fair enough. But we're fixing our problems.
I don't think we are fixing our problems.
What would you take? Where we are is where we are.
I won't take.
The issue is that we are trying to fix
things. Yes, because we haven't got our priorities right in this country.
Okay, we're going to take a short break. We'll come back and come back.
This Fourth Republic.
Let's take a short break.
But now let's get
gentlemen, let's take a short break.
That's your phone number.
All right.
With an app on
so we're going to take a short break. We'll come back and continue the conversation.
Is impossible without time. Time is endless motion. Make time work for you. Bet Planet. Time to bet.
Welcome back from that break, and we're having a very spirited conversation about fixing our policing system and improving the state of security of all of us as Ghanaians. The show is interactive. Kindly use the hashtag Breakfast Daily on social media platforms. If you happen to be watching on Facebook, kindly comment on the stream below. We have a WhatsApp line as well, 0550-585832. We'd like to hear from you. Now, some messages have already started coming through. Let me read a couple of them, and then we'll continue the conversation. My guests are very eager to jump back into the conversation. Here, so Neo Kanse from Temba West. Good morning. May the soul of the deceased rest in peace. David, why don't you advocate for the reviewing of the Constitution so that the IGP would no more be appointed by the executive president? In fact, we have had too many of such killings in this regime. One example is the Takrady girls, and then also journalist Ahmed. Well, I think that's exactly what I was trying to do, and suggesting that we should have a decoupling of the police hierarchy from the executive. Yes, so you were making a point before we went on the break.
Yeah, I made my point then.
You made your point. You are done making your point.
Let me come to your second question.
Yeah.
Some of us have been saying it all along. That it should not be the president's responsibility to appoint the IGP.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be. Look, there's been a constitutional review commission in this country. They have sent a report, nearly, I think, 500 pages of the report. When you read the report, this thing is in there. Why haven't we taken that review to revise our constitution? And I keep saying, and people attack me for, always trying to, well, they say I try to put the president in a bad light. But that is not my intention. My intention is to make sure that what is right should be done. And I've said that the president is a lawyer. is a constitutional lawyer. We know he has the ability to handle our constitution. Why isn't it the first thing he looked at? Because this constitution, as I keep saying, is not fit for purpose in this era. Because a lot of things that happen, you find loopholes in the constitution that don't cover it. Yeah. In fact, all those areas, not all, some of the areas that the president has to choose people or nominate people to go and head, some of those areas, really, it shouldn't be his responsibility. And as you rightly said before we started this segment, as you rightly said, they put me in place. I have to kowtow to what the president says. Because if I don't kowtow to what the president says, I'll lose my daily bread.
You can't buy the hand that feeds you.
I said it is not everybody who has the wherewithal to go against a president who has appointed them. It's not everybody. And even if you try it, they will find ways. Even if the president doesn't want to do it, his party people will put pressure on him because they might feel that he is doing it because of the opposition. And maybe he's doing it because of his job and because of what is right. And so, for me, I feel the police service should be decoupled. The president shouldn't have anything to do with it. Because if the president does wrong today, can the IGP go and say, Mr. President, you're under arrest? No. Okay. And you see, the thing is that we are human. We are human. We make mistakes. And if we make mistakes, the fact that I'm a president or I'm somebody in power or I'm a very influential person does not mean that the person who is in charge of our security can come and question me. Poor Elvis, if he drives wrong right now, he's not a president, he's not influential, nobody knows him. They'll hold him.
Okay.
They'll hold me.
So our next story, let me just quickly read that for you. Alleged contempt case, Kenneth Ejapon is going to court today. D-Day for Kenneth Ejapon, all eyes on judiciary over threats on judge's life. However, it pans out today, all eyes on judiciary over threats on judge's life. However, it pans out today, it will serve a useful lesson to many Ghanaians who are waiting with bated breath to see whether, sorry, I'm reading this wrong. However, it pans out today, it will serve a useful lesson to many Ghanaians who are waiting with bated breath to see whether the Member of Parliament for Asin Central will be punished or allowed to go scot-free after he launched an attack on Justice Roxon, describing him as an idiot and an animal of a person. Kennedy Ejapon, at 10 a.m. this morning, is expected to appear before the Land Court 12 on the 5th floor of the court complex in Accra, under the gavel of Justice Amos Wuni, to show cause why he should not be punished for his contemptuous attack on a judge trying his case. A number of radio and television stations, New Crusading Guide gathered, will be reporting live from the court premises this morning for Ghanaians to see justice being done. The Asin Central lawmaker on Wednesday, 2nd of September this year, threatened to petition the Chief Justice over a judgment given without his knowledge. Among other insults, Kennedy Ejapon called the judge, and I quote, stupid, for delivering a judgment when he was unaware of the case despite being the owner of a land for 18 years on the program the Seat Show on Net2 TV. He says, and I quote, "You are a stupid judge. I will face you," Kenneth Ejapon added. "I am not an ass to take bribe from you," he added in a local language, Twi, saying, "I will deal with you." Let me go to Elvis Dako on this one. Start with you, Elvis. Elvis, what are your thoughts?
Well, it's unfortunate this has happened, and I've heard him. I heard the attack on the judge, and I've also heard him.
Which part of it is unfortunate?
No, the attack on the judge.
Okay.
It's unfortunate. The attack on the judge was unfortunate. Because the judge was not doing his job. But I've also watched him also apologize that he got it wrong. So I'm sure that he's going to the court this morning with that apology that he got it wrong. And I believe that that's the only defense he's going to go court with. There's no way he's going to defend this. And that is what I know, because that's what he has openly said on his television.
Okay.
On the same program on which he attacked the judge. He sat on the same program to apologize and said he got it wrong and he did not understand the workings of the law. And therefore he has been educated on the workings of the law, and therefore it's not the fault of the judge, and that it's just the smartness of some lawyers who end up either deceiving judges to give them certain judgments, and that is his position. I'm very well aware that he's going to the court this morning just to go and plea for clemency because he has admitted that he's wrong. That is what I've heard him say. I've worked with him before, so I know Ken. His biggest problem, and I've always said it, is his temperament. He has a very quick temperament. He's a very temperamental person. And what he did on the show that day, based on his own explanation, he's already frustrated. In 1 month, he's confronted about 4 different actions from court, all about various lands he has acquired, and people are attempted to take it away from him. So he, out of frustration, he just spoke without even considering the legal implications, because he's actually ignorant of how the court system works. He thought that it is just some judge who is trying to play a trick and support somebody against him. But according to him, after talking to his own lawyers, he realizes that the judge did not commit any crime. It is the information available to the judge is what made him issue that order. Yeah. And that it's not that the judge has anything against him. So with his own statement, it's obvious that he's going to court this morning to plead for clemency. As to whether the judge who will sit on the case will accept the clemency or still go ahead to punish him, that one is in the bosom of the judge. But with what he has said on his own TV, he is pleading for clemency. And
I'm wondering though, if, I mean, you see how the story says that people are waiting with bated breath to see what direction this is going to go, because it seems as though there are people who are very influential and very powerful within our space, and there's a perception that they can get away with anything, you know, and so maybe I should come to
that is the perception. But the point is, this is an issue of contempt. It's not that some ordinary person. It's the court which felt insulted.
Yes.
So if the court will allow itself to be insulted and then influenced not to do the right thing, that I don't know how that's going to happen. If you had a case with another person, you can say the person is passing back to these allegations of influencing judges. Yeah. It's a different ballgame. But this one is a case of he insulting the court.
The court, yeah.
So who is now going to influence the court not to do the right thing? Yeah. That is what, and so I don't think that issue comes in. As I said, with what he has said, he's going there to say, I accept that I acted wrongly. I'm asking for forgiveness. If the judge who is going to sit on the case will forgive him or not, it's another issue, and we can tell. I can tell that fast sitting here.
Lawyer, we had people infamously named the Muntie Three, speaking against judges, threatening judges. We have this case here. What are your thoughts in terms of like drawing similarities and your expectation of what the judgment is likely to be?
David, I'm not really interested in what the judgment is going to be.
Okay.
It's up to the judge. The law is in the bosom of the judge as to what he will do. However, you said powerful people. Define powerful.
Influential.
Okay.
That's what I said. I said influential.
You said
I used both words.
Yes. But, you know, nobody is powerful in this country than the president. Look, Kennedy Japan is a member of parliament. I expect Parliament to act. There are disciplinary codes in Parliament, aren't there?
Yeah.
As to use of language and all that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I expect the Speaker to act. And I don't understand. We practice separation of powers in this country. Why is it the executive who nominates the Speaker? Why? Is it not separation of powers we're practicing? What is separation of powers? Executive, legislature, judiciary. Why should the president appoint judges? Why? If we want strict separation of powers, I understand and I know it's done in America, where President Trump or the American president would appoint judges to the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
But when they appoint judges to the Supreme Court, do you not see sometimes the judges going against the one who has appointed them there? Does it happen
in a number
our
of
country?
cases?
Yes.
I've seen that.
Has it happened in our country? Does it happen in our country? And so, because of the way and kind of system that we are practicing, the separation of powers, the executive shouldn't have the power to do some of these things. I believe that the Speaker of Parliament should be an independent person, as much as possible, knowledgeable, independent, respected person who sits in the seat and manages both sides. Because sometimes you hear in Parliament that the opposition say when they don't catch the eye of the Speaker, they are never called. And don't you think Parliament should have called, Kennedy Japan to book?
Long ago.
Long ago.
Long before this case.
Long before this case. So, okay, he said what he said. If the judge decides that he should prove that, Anas paid bribes to judges, he won't even, aggregate it to himself, but generally pays bribes to judges. He should prove it. Would he be able to prove it? Would he be able to prove it? And the mere fact that you are a parliamentarian, you should be careful in the way you speak. Kennedy Japan is saying that he didn't know the law. Ex parte. The ex parte rule was what happened in this particular situation.
What's the ex parte rule?
Whereby the court or the person who you have something against goes to the court, and the court is not instructed to give the defendant or the plaintiff notice of what is going to happen on the summons.
Okay.
If he knew he didn't know the law, why didn't he go to his lawyers to express his frustration and let the lawyers advise him that you can't do this and get him to understand how the court processes run? And then you sit on your TV station, and because of sensationalism, you say what you want to say because you know people will say, hey, Kennedy Japan, that kind of thing. And it doesn't work. So for me, it's an eye-opener. And it's not an eye-opener only for Kennedy Japan. It's an eye-opener to all of us that you cannot insult. Yes, if you do not agree with a certain judgment that has been made, express it and express it in an intelligent way. Don't insult. I mean, why did he insult the judge? Why did he call the judge stupid? Is the judge not doing his work? Can he prove that the judge was influenced in the verdict that he gave? Can he prove it? And now you're going to court to what? To plead for the judge to say, oh, okay, go. Contempt of court. If it were me, they would throw me in. If it were me, they would throw me in. But he being a parliamentarian, for me, they should throw him in. Because he holds a responsible, and I'll use your word, influential position in this country. And sometimes, lessons should be learned, and we should use them as an example that you just can't get up and insult anybody. I don't like it when people sit on radio and TV and insult people, insult the president, insult people just for the mere fact of it. Is that what democracy is? Is that what we understand by democracy? If that is what we understand by democracy, then we have lost it.
Yeah, but that's what we call it, right? We call it Kebi, Mamin Kebi.
Kebi, Mamin Kebi means intellectual.
Yeah, but you see, that's not the
insult.
There's the basic definition, the basic explanation or interpretation is say yours, me or say mine.
Yeah, but
however you want to say,
David,
however I want to say.
No.
It's an unfortunate definition that we've given to it, but that's what it is.
No, that's not what it is.
That's why these things perpetuate.
I don't. Do you understand? I don't agree to the fact that Kebi, Mamin Kebi means I should insult you.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
I'm saying that we have come to this place because the definition we've given to democracy is Kebi, Mamin Kebi.
Right. Yeah. I agree. I didn't get what you said. Right?
Which is actually not the meaning of
democracy. If that is the case, whose responsibility is it to make sure that people understand it? You know, in the First Republic, when Nkrumah set up the school, the ideological school,
college.
What was it supposed to do? It was supposed to teach people what this whole thing meant.
Socialism or whatever, the governance style,
so that people understood it at a very young age. They were saying, hey, this same party in power, there are people saying, yeah, he was using it for this, using it for that. He set up a Young Pioneer. If you look at the code of Young Pioneer, it promoted patriotism for your country. We need those things today for people to understand what it means having a democratic society. And I blame politicians. Blame politicians. Why do I blame politicians? Because it starts from them. It starts from them. And it has to stop. Parliament should take this particular case up in Parliament, discuss it, and start the process of how we can educate our people to understand what democracy is all about.
All right, okay. Thank
because they are there to represent the people. They are not there for themselves.
All right, the last
and
story.
There's a difference in this case. In the Supreme Court case, the same judges sat on it. But in this case, a different judge.
Okay.
Different judge. Yeah, so a different judge is sitting on the case.
So
it's not the person insulted who is sitting on the case.
I don't even go in there because really I didn't agree with what President Mahama did. It was wrong. It was wrong for him to release them because they did wrong.
Yeah.
And if somebody does wrong, you can't just release him just like that.
Fair enough. Let's move on. UTAG threatens strike over book and research allowance. Let me just quickly read the story to you. The University Teachers Association of Ghana, UTAG, has given the government by close of day Monday 14th September to pay its members book and research allowance for 2019-2020 academic year or prepare for a strike. UTAG, in a press release signed by the President and Secretary, noted that although the necessary and needed documents to facilitate the payment of the allowances had been made available, none of the members had received the allowance. It further stated that by close of Monday, the allowances are not paid, the association will advise its members to cease from performing their functions. The association added that should the next academic year's calendar, which has already seen some disruptions due to COVID-19 pandemic, be derailed, it should not be blamed on us, but on the government's actions and inactions in its dealing with the association on the subject matter. I don't know if you've been following the story, lawyer, and your quick thoughts on this.
I find it quite embarrassing.
Really? How so?
Yes. You know, the current government is making a song and dance with the fact that they have brought back the book and research allowance to teachers. And you would have thought that that would be the first thing they'll pay to them. The fact that they are now going on demonstration to get something the government has reinstituted is an embarrassment. It shouldn't be done. It shouldn't be so at all. They shouldn't be asking for it because if, you know, the government feels or felt that it was an integral and important part for teachers, then they should have paid them ages ago. It would have been one of the first things they paid. And what are the reasons given by government? Has government said they don't have the money? Has government says, well, okay, you hang on, we will find a time to pay you in the future? Why has that payment been, why has it delayed? We need answers, because it doesn't help anybody for the teachers to go and strike because of this. Now, perhaps what we should now do, maybe the media can do it, call the experts in. I'm not an expert on this. Call the expert in to give us a clear understanding of how this book and research allowance is used. Can we monitor how they use it? Or when they take that money, is it added to their spending of their salaries? Because really, I was reading, in fact, I heard on the radio today that research was done with regards to BEC students, and it was found that 95% of the BEC students could not read and understand the exam papers. And if they couldn't do it, this was a study that came out. I have to go and research it and read it for myself. And if that is true, and the BEC students cannot read and understand the exams, then research and book allowance, what is that for? How are they using it? And so let's see where the cookie crumbles with this. And hopefully, if they are threatening to go on strike, the government would do something about it and pay them, because they have reinstituted it.
All right. Okay, so Elvis, your thoughts on this situation with UTAD?
Yeah, I don't understand why this kind of things have to be coming up. The government, you have agreed to pay the people this money. It's documented. Why should you get the level that the people should be demanding it and threatening strike? I think that governance should go beyond these kind of things. If there is no agreement, fine, there can be controversy. But there is something that is in black and white, that every year you pay lecturers book and research allowance by this amount. The money should just be paid. We don't get to places like this where people are threatening to go on strike. I think it's needless. Why should people go on strike for something that you have agreed that they are entitled to it? I think that it's needless. We should go beyond this pocket money book and have a proper research fund. Our universities are not ranking the Times higher education learning because we are not doing enough research that are being published in international journals. It should be a concern to us that we should be finding money for universities to be doing groundbreaking researches that are featuring in globally respected journals around the world, for people to know that we also have the people. That is what I think we should be looking at. We should be investing in research that finds solution to our simple problems in the society, that university can take up and say, we are doing this research into this to solve this problem in this community. And by the end of the day, the research will either provide a solution. That is what life should be about. So I think that this thing is something that we should not entertain at all. We should go beyond this and be talking about Legon. Come and account for, we'll give you $10 million to do research for the last year. We ask you to do A/B. Where are the results of what you have done? How can we monetize it? This is what we should be going. But it seems we are not interested in those ones, and we are rather worried about this petty ones. I don't think that it's helpful.
All right. Okay. So a few more messages that you are sending have come through. Kennedy Pond has to be jailed. He doesn't respect. How can an honorable be talking like this? In which country would such behavior be tolerated? Because he has his money, he thinks he can do anything or say anything and go scot-free. Even if he's released, he will do worse than before. The judges need to teach him a lesson. You don't add your name there. Then this one comes from Yao Osankide from Taifa. He says recent attacks on bullion vans and the assassination of political lecturers should be critically investigated, because some people are executing the contents of the leaked tape of Chairman Ofusu Ampofo the chairman of NDC. I rest my case, says Yao. All right, thank you very much to my guest, Elvis Darko, the editor of the Finder newspaper, and also to lawyer Kwame Jantua, who was a former vice chair of PIAC. Thank you very much for watching this segment of the show and for contributing to the show. The show continues after these short messages.
Close-up deep action with antibacterial mouthwash formula and deep cleaning gel. Close-up deep action. Enjoy long-lasting fresh breath.
There is no promise we cannot keep. There is no commitment we cannot honor. There is no delivery we cannot guarantee. There is only one Bethel Logistics Company Limited, a licensed international freight forwarding and clearing agent, a trusted global brand with an extensive network for the movement of air freight and ocean freight worldwide. We are the trusted name for road freight into Western and Northern Africa. We are fully accredited by Ghana Customs and Excise. We cater for all your freight forwarding, customs clearing and forwarding, cross trades, inland transportation, internal cargo tracking systems, customer freight costing and consultancy, cold chain logistics management, logistics and warehousing, quality inspection, and much more. In Accra, Tema, and Takrady, we are always available to ensure easy movement of cargo countrywide. Call us on 0204 528 900 or 0244 707 859. Email info@bethellogistics.com. Locate us in Accra at North Ridge, adjacent Accra Girls High School, or in Tema at Community 4, or in Takrady on the second floor of the GCB building. Website bethellogistics.com. Bethlog, experts in shipping logistics.
That's kind of cynical. I mean, because I'm not sure that all that we have done have necessarily been to the benefit of middle class or wealthy people. So we will get to that.
Tune in to The Point of View this and every Monday and Wednesday at 9 p.m. as I, Bernard Avile, get the right guests, ask them relevant questions on issues that matter to you.
When MDB came, because they were not putting money in the sinking fund.
They were not putting money in the sinking fund?
Yes.
That's why this curve is going up?
The money was going to the sinking fund, but it was not being applied to debt.
I think that there's a lot of apocryphal conspiracy theories around. And it's no different from 5G causes coronavirus, COVID-19 and things like that. So there's been this long-term held belief that somehow there are some people that have planned that they will bust hundreds of thousands of people to come and change Ghanaian electoral outcome. There is no evidence for it. There is absolutely no evidence for it.
I am saying that we have very professional herbalists in this country whose capacity I know because I've tried it. But also there are quack ones within them. And the earlier we weed them out, the better for us.
Remember, The Point of View is live every Monday and Wednesday at 9 p.m. only on City TV.
The Point of View is powered by Airtel Tigo. Have you heard that Airtel Tigo calls from 5 a.m. to 10 a.m. and Airtel Tigo money transfers are now free on new SIMs? Now you know. Airtel Tigo. Life is simple. And Lydia Contraceptive. With Lydia, you truly decide.
Election 2020, Ghana makes a choice. Tracking and bringing you reports of the presidential and parliamentary campaigns across the length and breadth of this nation.
Analyzing campaign activities and election data with our panelists on the Voters' Diary.
The Voter's Diary is the most factual, instructive, and balanced election 2020 analysis program on television.
The Voter's Diary, every weekday on City TV from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m.
Stay informed on all the relevant issues on election 2020. Tune into the Voter's Diary, it's Ghana's choice.
Bang of music. I feel we're Ghana for your better waba. Timisiremu Bianchene Franca. Who come first, who come last? No, the Nya ped your best sound money danta. Tutu abana ko home. Now Kokomuti and one no power. Oh, to Abasa Saudachi. And I would to a year for the banching. Would they do whom you no papa cratching? Missy do whom you no papa. I feel we my young fasadine that down. Now 2 years watching I've been one papa. Dobby be a Ghana first, mum one made the Ghana could press the press it. Capim Polo will be out in the Toma. Yakotwa Bay will be coaching my wagon who are mine will be a Juma. Unsun while I call me a hint. Boshaka say I won't sack a hint, chef. My hand matching uniform year. And so now the soap in 4 years. Kobike Ghana my made them to Mamu after election, no campaign. Tebetu Abana, just a 10K. Unto dia massa packing your man, now you to not brace will be up Juma Vision 2020. Ye koyenim ana ye bayechi mon camp. Vision 2020. Wuni don't pa men kasampo plento na ya bread. Vision 2020. Ye koyenim ana ye bayechi. Vision 2020. Wuni don't pa men kasampo plento na ya bread. Every day I just for the paper. Yes, it's the Nunian and a dollar. So I'm looking with the money with the prayer. Chedi and pour me here what favor. Eja Kaimie, na minye nema. I feel where they one bay jam me too. Why you the fear? Yeah. Vision 2020, yeah, koyenim ana ye bayechi mon camp. Vision 2020, ni wuni don't pa men kasampo plento na ya brete. 1 2 3 1 2 3 hey. December ba obiniyem. 1 2 3 1 2 3 hey. December ba obiniyem. Vision 2020, yeah, koyenim ana ye bayechi mon camp. Vision 2020, wuni don't pa men kasampo plento na ya brete. Vision 2020. 2020, live bang, Vision 2020, yeah, 2020. Yeah, we are calling this rap. Bang of music, we out.
If you can get all the understanding on some of the difficult subjects you struggle with in school. As a student, do you feel dissatisfied with how hard it is to figure out the subjects you're learning? Or as a parent or guardian, do you worry that your child is struggling to understand some of the subjects in school? Well, now you don't need to sign up for extra lessons or tutors. Simply tune in to Class Act, Mondays to Thursdays at 5:30 p.m. on City TV. Class Act is a show that seeks to enable senior high school students gain a much better understanding of what they learn in school. All you need is a TV, a chair, your notebook, and your pen. Get clarity on subjects such as maths, English, IT, and science. Class Act airs every Monday to Thursday at 5:30 p.m. on City TV on DSTV channel 363 and GoTV channel 182. Don't forget your pens, pencils, and your notebooks, and tune in to Class Act only on City TV.
City TV is live on DSTV. Go to channel 363. On GoTV, access City TV on channel 182. On a digital TV, please press the menu button on the remote control and run a news search on your TV. Take note that without an antenna, you cannot access City TV on your television. City TV can be accessed on a free-to-air digital box like the Go TV and Star Times box. City TV, it's your world.
You're welcome back. This is Breakfast Daily. Just before we went on that break, you heard Kobe K there, and we'll be speaking to him much later in the course of the program. Now, though, it's time for the nutrition segment, and I have with me here Akusia Konedu Yadom, who is a state-registered nutritionist. And we're going to discuss something that has been all over. There's been a craze for it, and in recent times. And what am I talking about? Keto diet. So this is something that might interest a lot of people, especially those who want to lose weight within minutes, within months, if I may put it that way. And so we'll find out how good this is, what are the effects of it, and what the components of a keto diet are. Good morning, Akusia. How are you doing?
I'm fine, Zoe. How are you?
I'm great. Did you have a great weekend?
It was good.
Great. All right, so this is something that has been all over. Now, when you open social media now, you realize that there are a lot of sponsored advertisements, and one of that has to do with keto. I don't know, but I see it a lot on my timeline, yes, especially on Facebook. It's something that a lot of people are crazy about. People who want to lose weight within months without any form of physical activity. I know a few people who have done this or are still doing it. Let me just find out from you, what are the components, when we talk about keto diet, first of all, what is keto and what are the components of the keto diet?
Okay, so keto diet, or the fast, is about your body, instead of burning calories, now burning fat. So the process of ketogenesis, whereby instead of we burning calories, your body is now burning fat. Yes, so that is what I would say. And the components of a keto diet has to do with we have carbohydrates, taking 5 to 10% of the total makeup, and then you have 60 to 65% coming from fats.
Okay.
And then you have 30 to 35% coming from protein, the lean protein for that matter. So there is a way to go about it. Yes, people are doing it, and in as much as
many people,
in as much as I wouldn't vouch for it, I feel we need to talk about it to let people know how well to do it, what not to do, because there are dire consequences to you sticking to the keto regimen. And if you do it the safest way to, you may achieve or can achieve results.
Okay.
So basically, you have fat taking up 60 to 65%, almost 70%.
Of your diet?
Yes, almost 70% of your diet. Because instead of you burning calories, you are now substituting it for fat. So on a regular, our Ghanaian dishes, you realize that we have carbohydrate taking a chunk of our plate. Yes, and last week we discussed the healthy plate, or how to do your portion as far as creating a healthy plate is concerned. So the keto diet kind of take over from the carbohydrates. And now you go so low on carbohydrate. If you have 5 to 10% being carbohydrate, Zoe, you can imagine
what are the consequences of that?
Okay, so for the keto, I don't know why. Maybe you also not in for it. So
I'm not in for it.
So we on the same page. So you quickly want to talk about the consequences. Yes.
I mean you having so much fat and less carbohydrates. That's what I mean, not the keto.
Okay, so it's like I always say that treat keto like the way you treat intermittent fast. It shouldn't be something that is in to stay. I find out that people have done keto for years, running into. I found this popular figure, and she's done it for over 10 years. Wow. It's like, if you are supposed to look at this person this person's parents are not your parents. As far as genetic makeup is concerned, you are not like this person. And so the fact that I did it and I'm here or alive doesn't mean, Zoe, it is a safe thing or a wise thing, let me use that word, to do. Because research, there are a lot of things like you said, but keto is not seen as the ultimate as far as you trying to lose weight is concerned, because you find out that that one can be very, very fatal. Keto, you're on keto, your carb intake is reduced, and now you are also working out in addition.
So the combination is not good. You are not supposed to combine keto, but
there are people working out. I don't want to mention. And there are groups. She's very popular. She discussed with me. She wants to start even a show. On the back of that, she nearly died. Oh. This is somebody we all know, and it would have been like a heavy blow to the media space. But she was talking to me about it. She was like, man, this thing is deadly.
Combining the two.
So you don't need to do much, because the keto thing alone is a huge therapy on its own. So you work out to lose calories. Here is a case you have 5 to 10% of carbs or calories. Why do you need to stress it? So now, are you also trying to burn that 5 to 10% of something you need but have it in minimal doses? You need carbohydrate. We always talk about carbohydrates or starches in a way that makes them look like they are evil. Zoe, you are talking because you have fuel or glucose in you. I am talking because I have fuel or glucose in me. I am able to move. I am able to study. I am able to be able to think and put everything I am talking to you together to be able to make sure this segment is running. If I don't have glucose, if I don't have fuel, how do I even lift a pen to put this whole segment together? You need glucose, you need carbohydrates. So we shouldn't make it look like it's evil. We need macronutrients and micronutrients to survive. The macronutrients, we have carbohydrates, we have proteins, we have fats and oil. Yes, so we need the macronutrients, and the micronutrients, we have iron, we have magnesium, we have zinc, we have all the others we mostly talk about here. You need every macro and micronutrient for our survival. So if you want to go on keto, I always say that just as I will use an intermittent fast to shut my body up, you can do the 5:2 ratio. If you really follow this segment, we've spoken about it, where you can decide to eat 5 times in a day, the other 2 you use it as a detox day or moment. So once in a week, twice in a week, you can decide to allow your body to restart. Just like we want to do some cleaning as far as the factory or a machine is concerned. You don't really overdo it. So in a month, I can decide to go like, okay, 3 days every month. I will need to do this intermittent fasting, or I will slot in, let's say, 3 days of keto session. Because I came across a research, they used keto. What we are so crazy about, they used it in a study, and it was used for 3 to a week, like 3 days to a week, involving animals. Do you get it? So once, mostly we fall on them as far as doing research and linking it to humans, because basically we're almost the same. Yes, we adapted to it, and it worked for a group of people. There are doctors who even prescribe keto for some people, especially people with epilepsy. It can be given based on whatever the treatment plan is with you and your caregiver. It's not that bad, but we should be wise about it. That is what.
Okay, so there are a lot of foods that they go off, so they don't eat a lot of things. I mean, people on keto diet. Can you give us some of the list of
the food not to eat? The foods to eat. So
yes. Let's start with the foods to eat. Pause on keto.
So the foods to eat, like I said, you need to do a lot of fat, healthy fat, if you want to do it. And we have avocado. Avocado is a star fruit. You can do it. Keto, they don't really take much of certain fruits, but avocado is really a cool thing to do. And then you make sure your fats are healthy. So depending on what you want to have, we have an image to the back of it. I don't know if the producers can show us. So we have foods for keto, we have vegetables for keto. So we have mushroom, we have zucchini, we have broccoli, tomatoes, and basically most of the vegetables we have around. And then we have some of the fruits for keto as well. We have oils, we have coconut oil, olive oil, we have seafoods, we have cheese, we have meat, poultry. So basically all the lean part of the protein meal. And for the measurements, it is said that you measure up to where the tip of your finger and where it starts. The finger starts. So it's like the thickness should be like this. Okay. And then the size should be yes, where your finger starts. So
the width?
Yes. The thickness should be like, so yours, that's yours, this is mine, but it should, yes, this is how it should be, but it should start from here to the tip as far as my portion is concerned, and the thickness as far as the meat or the protein is concerned should be this. Okay. Yes. So that is it. And for the fat, I always say that it's not, I can't just sit here and say, okay, 60 to 65%, what's the meaning of it? You need to, some of these things you need a one-on-one consultation, because definitely when even we did or we made the measurements here, it differs. It differs. So you need to really seek a professional as far as a professional help as far as handling these things that are concerned.
Unfortunately, most people who want to do keto do not seek professional help. So I hear of a group on WhatsApp that is doing keto
and on the internet.
And on the internet,
and then I
join, and we have rules.
Excuse me, any nonsense there.
And we have rules that you are supposed to follow. We don't really have someone who is coaching or guiding you, and you're supposed to post what you eat on a daily basis and all that. Now let's talk about the effect that keto can have on the human body if it is not done well, because your body is used to having so much fat, I mean carbohydrates, and now you are cutting, all of a sudden you're cutting off. Does it have any effect on the body?
Of course. Of course. So it's just like Zoe. Zoe is used to, let's say, these heels. All of a sudden I take these heels off her feet, and it's like I'm going to do this to her for a very long time. Definitely, when next I give you shoes, are you going to be able to walk comfortably in it? In the case of this lady, I said, who has done this for more than a decade. Like, she has changed everything about her body, her whole system. And it is very dangerous. You can have health complications. So doing or staying on a keto diet for long can change your heart's rhythm. It can change the rhythm of your heart, and gradually that can lead you to having heart issues or heart diseases. You can have low blood pressure also. People will say, oh, if I have high blood pressure and I have something that is bringing me low. Low blood pressure is a silent killer. It kills faster than even the high blood pressure. So if you are somebody also with an underlying condition, it is very dangerous for you to be on a keto diet. Underlying conditions in this era of COVID-19, we've spoken about it, so almost every Ghanaian knows what an underlying condition is. It could be diabetes, it could be hypertension, it could be chronic heart conditions, it could be liver concerns, it could be kidney, whatever is chronic or something you've lived with for a very long period of time. You don't do it. You can have kidney stones. You can have, we have this non-alcoholic liver disease. It's a liver disease. So you can affect the health of your liver. It's NAFLD. Yes, you can affect the health of your liver. And I always say that if your liver, which does very important things in your body, is affected, if your kidney is affected, if you have those vital organs being affected in this in a bad sense, Zoe.
I'm sure someone is sitting out there watching this and saying that she's discouraging us. This is something I so wanted to do. And
like I said, you can do it. I fast once a week. I do it. And maybe that is my keto. You don't know what I'm eating, but I won't eat what you are eating.
Well, so if you're watching and you have questions, you can quickly throw them at Akosia so she addresses it. So we don't look like we are all discouraging people to not to do keto in its entirety. So you're saying you can do it, but you should know yourself. You should know what your body is made up of. If you have any underlying conditions, you know how to do it, or don't do it at all.
No, don't do it. If you have an underlying condition, don't do it. Don't attempt it. Yes, because with what I've spoken about, as far as your blood pressure is concerned, your liver is concerned, already you are fragile in a certain, to some extent. You wouldn't want to really put yourself in danger. So if you have an underlying condition, there are various ways to help you lose weight. I consult and help people lose weight, but I have never given anybody keto. If you bring it to the table, it's to your own discretion. I wouldn't discourage you, but I will tell you what I'm sitting here and telling everybody.
Then again, the effect of this, we have seen people who have done keto and have lost weight within 3 months.
Yes.
So it's effective.
Yes.
Then again, somebody say, okay, I've gone to see a nutritionist. She has given me all the do's and don'ts, yet I do not see any improvement.
I always say that, Zoe, when you come to me, I tell you, if only you are ready to work with me. It's not about you just paying for the consultation fee and me giving you everything you need. Every client I've worked with, if you are serious, I always ask you, are you serious? If you are willing to do it, you can't sit with me, we agree on something or certain things we need to do, only for you to go and be doing certain things you want contrary and expect to have that result. Yes, the keto thing works for some people. I wouldn't sit here and pretend I don't know. Yes, but I am saying that from my point as a professional, it is not something you should really depend on for long, because research is saying that going beyond 6 months on a keto journey can lead to life-threatening consequences. Where we have, if you are changing the rhythm, how your heart is beating, so that's the big deal. What are you without your heart? What are you without your heart? What are you without your liver functioning properly? What are you without your kidneys functioning properly like they need to function? So I am saying that in as much as nobody can beat Jesus's record, I wouldn't sit here and say I will do 40 days. Nothing will make me do that. But I will sit here and say that once in a while I fast. Every week, at least 1 day out of the week, I make sure I shut in so that you help your body to kind of do some cleaning and make sure certain things are taken out so that you kind of start again. But you don't have to depend. Who will survive, Zoe, 40 days without food?
Okay, so then again, there's a fasting aspect. So I have been with people and I know them, their keto started in January. By April, you see the results. Took a break. In June, July, August resumes again. And for this period, for about a whole day, the person says, I'm fasting, so doesn't eat anything at all. So, and most of their products too are quite expensive. Compared to you having you having a natural, how do you call it, way of losing weight. So, well, I'm not sure. We are not here to discourage anybody.
No.
You should go ahead with the keto.
And the most important thing, I always say that listen to your body. Listen to your body. Whoever you meet in a consulting room, we are able to help you based on the information you give us. So, Zoe, you give me what I need to work with. Listen to your body. Listen to what your body is telling you. If your body is taking the keto thing well, work with what we've spoken with. Don't go beyond a certain number of months. I wouldn't even give months.
So once you lose the weight, that's it.
Why should you even lose weight that way? Zoe, some people, you took about a decade to build everything you have. You took, let's say after childbirth, you had it, you are struggling to lose your baby fat. After, let's say there are people who have procedures and then they put on weight. But ask yourself, did it happen in a week? If it didn't happen in a week, why do you want to lose it in a week?
Wow. All right. So this issue of keto, I think we can go on and on and on and on about it.
But be wise about it. That is what I would tell you. And I wouldn't sit here and mark keto 100% because it may hurt you. It might be good to you. The best thing to do is to know your body, one, to consult a professional, discuss certain things into details, because then I will know your body type, I will know the underlying conditions, and even tell you it's a no from scratch. Or I would tell you, okay, let's do it this way. Let's slot the 5:2 ratio into whatever has to do with you as far as your daily intake or your weekly intake is concerned. We do dietary recalls. We do certain things to know how it is with you. There are people who put on a lot of weight based on the fat intake, based on their people putting on weight based on water intake. So we need to do all that body composition to know where yours is coming from.
All right, thank you very much, Akosia. We have so many questions, but unfortunately,
on my social media.
So give them your social media handle so they can.
On IG, Instagram at the Nutritionist Akosia, at the Nutritionist Akosia, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Nutritionist Akosia, and you can reach me on 0243 350206.
All right, thank you very much. That was Akosia Konedu Yadom. She's a state registered nutritionist, and we're talking about keto diet. So many questions. Unfortunately, we can't pose them to her because of time factor. So she has mentioned her number, she has mentioned her social media handles. Do well to get in touch with her, and she will respond to your questions. This is still Breakfast Daily. We'll take a quick break, but before then, let's bring you some entertainment highlights.
Welcome to Entertainment Highlights on Breakfast Daily. My name is Ato Kwamna. Reggae Dancehall Artist of the Year at the Vodafone Ghana Music Awards, Ras Kuku, will undergo surgery today. This was made known by his manager Michael Asambo after the artist was rushed to the hospital for treatment for dislocating his arm during a performance at the Asase Sound Clash. Ras Kuku and Chameleon were battling it on stage when the unfortunate incident occurred. Ras said while on stage that he once got hurt in the arm when he was young, and while the show was ongoing, he realized the joint had dislocated again. Ghanaian dancehall artist Samini has opened up on the reason behind his social media rants about Stonebwoy. Samini, who was seen registering his displeasure in videos he shared on social media, disclosed his motive on Asase Radio. According to Samini, his rants on social media was a strategic move to help him trend and become relevant. He added that he doesn't see himself and Stonebwoy having a head-on sound clash in a competitive bout because father and son do not have to do that. What is it about showbiz personalities ditching certain things they did in the past just because they feel they are older now? Remember Kwao Kesi recently said was no longer going to sing profane songs? Well, Nigerian actress Mercy Johnson, who recently said she has decided to stop taking up romantic roles in movies, has finally revealed the reason behind her decision. According to the mother of four, she has gotten to the stage in her life where such roles are not convenient for her. She explained that she doesn't want her kids to grow up and find her kissing and fondling with another man in the movie and begin to ask her questions because they might not know these things can be manipulated.
To lose weight, get in shape, or simply just stay fit, then workout is the show for you.
4, and then I change. All right, we are massaging the hamstring. All right, we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 90. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. I push. 1, good. 2, 3, 4. By the count of 3, hold it from here. Viewers, hold your bottles. we are ready to tone our arms. Are you ready?
Join us and let's stay fit on Workout, showing this on every Saturday and Sunday at 5:30 a.m. only on City TV. City TV, it's your world.
There are those with untold stories, unraveled feats, life-changing stories, and lasting legacies. They tell their stories themselves on footprints.
I didn't hear let him go. I heard come and take him. They took me to another room. There was this muscle man with the cane ready. Go with 12 canes. Then I told myself I won't yield. So I kept my teeth together. Pow, pow. I mean, heavy canes.
Lecturer at KNUST.
Lecturer, very popular lecturer, based in KNUST, being whipped by heart by a soldier who,
Be inspired by their hard work and resilience that led to their outstanding achievements as we trace their footsteps through time.
But I was able to set a record at Apollo.
Wow.
Because Apollo is a place that, it's not only one act.
Yeah, of course.
So when you perform one song, you need to leave for the next act to come. I was able to do 2 songs at a go.
Wow.
Because when I was performing, all of a sudden, about 3 African-American girls, they jump on the stage, started to do my smuggler thing with me. Then the whole, hey, everybody, hey. Then when we finished the music, then I said, do you want more? They said, yeah. Then I looked at the face of the promoter. He couldn't do nothing. He said, okay, go ahead. Then I put in the Sumgodu, because my first what I did was this song that you hear, Brent said. That's what I did. After that, I put in the Sumgodu. Man.
So join me, Samuel Atamensa, and my guests every Saturday at 9 a.m. and Sundays at 4 p.m. for Footprints, only on City TV.
Footprint is sponsored by Bethel Logistics Company Limited, experts in shipping logistics.
All right, welcome back again, and it's time for us to get into the cooking segment. Now today, on the cooking segment, we're going to be looking at the tuna niçoise salad. Now, this is it sounds very exotic and all the rest, but Chef Ruby Paintsel is here with us, and she's going to help us to see how to make this salad. Good morning, Chef Ruby.
Good morning.
How are you?
I am super doing well.
Fantastic, fantastic. So, like I said, niçoise, that sounds very exotic. Yeah. So
well, I suppose you can look at it like that as being exotic, but it's a classic French salad.
Okay.
Very simple. It is the one that you tend to find a lot of it on the menus in Accra. What I always find quite disturbing is this is as you get to see as we put it together how simple it is, but you end up with people putting all sorts of strange ingredients in it, and it's supposed to be very simple tuna salad.
Okay.
When we look at the ingredients I brought in today is literally. We have some tomatoes.
Okay.
We have some tuna, and I purposely brought tin tuna so that this you can really do at home without it being too difficult. I brought some red onions. I brought some green beans, some olives, some potatoes, some eggs, and some lettuce. It is literally. That is a salad. But the thing is, with all salads, the most important thing is the ingredients is fresh.
Okay.
Because you're eating it raw. So if your tomatoes is not the best, you are not going to get the best outcome out of it. And even when you're buying the tuna, even if you go for the tin one, the best thing is really try and buy something that's maybe in sunflower oil or olive oil. You don't need much because you want something that is small but the taste is fantastic. This is also quite healthy. Where I brought in some new potatoes today, you can substitute that and actually use sweet potatoes, which is even better for you. Instead of tinned tuna, you can actually use grilled fresh tuna. And I mean, I have this tuna I call it confit tuna, and I'll cook it in a little bit of olive oil, some lemon and some garlic. So in itself, the tuna is flavorful, and we are blessed that our coastlines, tuna, it is not a problem. So it's actually a shame that you use tin ones, because when you think about it, if you actually buy fresh, sometimes it actually works out even cheaper than actually the ones that is in a tin. And this salad is all about color, and I wanted to show you how easy it is. Absolutely, that I came here with just the ingredients, no knife, no fork, no nothing. It's literally, let's assemble it on a plate for you to see it, to see how simple it is. Like we talk about healthy things all the time, and I want you to understand that it doesn't have to be this difficult to be able to say, oh, I'm going to do this, and this is that sort of unhealthy. So we got some salad. And as you can see, I am literally...
So you're literally not going to touch it with your...
I just thought, I want people to do this without even thinking, oh, chef, and I tried it, and it didn't this and all that. Then I got some potatoes, and all I did is cut them into a nice bit of quarters. The thing with salads is it's always great with colors, you know? You have some green beans over there. We have some cherry tomatoes.
So is there any method to the spreading of, you know, what goes where?
It's literally no method at all. What we eat with our eyes. If something looks colorful, then it's like it's inviting. It's inviting to you. So, you know, the onions, you can do as much or as little as you want it to be, and stuff. And I brought some olives, some green olives. What I'll do is I put a little bit of that on here. I want, because today I don't want to prepare the food like a chef is doing it. I want it to look like you are home, you're putting it together, because the whole purpose of this is that you can do this. And, you know, we chefs are very fancy, we like, then it's done. But really and truly, we want you to do it. And then I have some tuna that I brought. And in this case, I'm just going to put that in the middle.
Spread it out,
and spread it out. This is good enough to do about 2 people, because this is actually 2 tins of tuna that I put here. I have some egg. And I just put some eggs on there. It is literally not that difficult. You can cut the eggs up into 2. And then I made some dressing. And the ingredients will be online for you to see. The dressing is literally some bit of mustard, oil, and lemon. And in this case, for my one, I put a little bit of chopped basil in there. Nowadays in this country,
you chopped up some basil, you put it in oil.
So I have. What oil? So if you look at this dressing now, I'll have that much of oil. So my oil is half, half of whatever I'm doing. Then a third of it will be the little bit of the lemon juice. The other third of it will be the mustard. And literally that's it. If you have a little bit of a sweet tooth, you can put a little bit of honey in there. And bottles like this are literally my favorite things, because what you do is you put everything in there and you shake it.
Just shake it and it's good to go.
And you're good to go. You don't have to blend, you don't have to whip.
Basil. That's is that what we call a cocoa mesa?
Yes.
That's it.
Yes. Because when you basil has lots of different types, and what we call cocoa mesa is what is considered Thai basil. It's quite strong in taste. I think what we are really blessed at the moment in this country is there's a lot of herbs being grown, and don't be afraid or shy of it. Get to use them. I mean, the other day I was in the supermarket and 1 cedi pack of basil, I call it, was plenty. I was like, wow, this is really, we're going to that point where we can be a little bit experimental with it. We have coriander, there was rosemary there was tarragon. quite a lot of different things that is there. So it's no longer those foreign things to us anymore.
Yes.
Because basil, as you say, it's not something that is so foreign to us because
we've had it.
We've had it back in the days, you know, you make chicken soup, you have to put some in there. So it's not, I remember I learned that from my grandmother, that you put these things in it and it gives it that special taste. So we shouldn't be afraid of it. And all I've done with this is now I'm just going, we have the basil stopping in. So if I pour it in, you'll see the sort of consistency of this. And it's a simple salad that honestly, you can just prepare for yourself and be eating at home. Healthy, simple,
yummy.
And we all like eggs, you know, as Ghanaians, and eggs in everything is fantastic. So these are the sort of thing that when you are, especially, you know, you just started your career, young guy, young woman, you're just coming from home, you no longer have that sort of big family, and you want to, especially people that eat late, you know, you don't want anything very heavy at night time. You can put these things together. You have some sweet potatoes that maybe was left over, some yam that you can cut that was cooked and was left over. Next thing you know, a little bit of yam, tomatoes, lettuce, tuna, a bit of dressing and egg, and you've got a salad.
Wow.
And salad. And
now, okay, so I have a confession to make.
Sure.
I came with my own fork.
Yeah,
so I'm ready.
Dear.
I'm ready. Yeah.
Well, you're going to leave some for something.
So some people are going to be upset with me, but hey, I'm not going to eat all of it. All right. So I'll dig in. I promise to be as clean as possible.
Definitely.
And
I think for me, it's the thing with salad is, and now what is also interesting is even some of the supermarkets that we have coming up, you go there and they've made some salads and then you can buy them. And there's also other businesses that are doing salads and they're not quite sure, you know, because every time in Ghana here, everything is salad. And that is the problem. There is different type of salads, and not all salads are even good for you, depending on what goes in there and depending on the fat content. I mean, I think at a time back I talked about even dressings. If someone wants to be eating healthy, you have a lot of people eating a lot of salads and putting a lot of mayonnaise on it. And that is what I stand for with my Chef Ruby, the food people. Is that we want to help businesses, we want to help individuals to be able to create these things and understand them, to help them to grow their business, to help you to understand how to eat better in your own space. So we work with quite a lot of different businesses now to be able to help them to understand these things, that it is different type of things that you can do with your business, different type of salads, different type of food. I'm currently working with a farm who does mangoes and wants to produce different things and things. So what we do is, you know, there's a lot of businesses in Ghana and they do all these things and you look at yours and you're like, where did they get this? They must have this different people. No, what they do have is people like me behind them, who's able to advise, who's able to do the nutrition content, who is able to show them the trendy things to do, because our eating pattern as individual all around the world, especially during this COVID time, has changed. So what are you waiting for as an individual, as a business, to be able to improve and help the people to achieve?
Let's take a quick look at what the ingredients are again.
Sure.
So we have the tomatoes.
We have some tomatoes, and I use cherry tomatoes because I find them to be quite easy to just eat them. I've used our local red onions.
The red onions.
And they're not shallots, so they're not the small, tiny ones, because they can be very strong.
And then we have the green
beans.
Green beans
is here. We have some green olives as well.
I love olives.
This is new potatoes. We have some eggs here, and our local lettuce. Literally,
fantastic.
and then with this dressing I made. So it's literally olives. You can get a whole jar of it in your fridge and it will last quite a long time. The green beans, I tend to even buy them, prepare them, get them in the freezer. Soon as I need them, I just I'm good to go in the microwave or boil them up. And eggs, as we know, it is literally bring it up to boil 8 minutes and you get hard-boiled egg. Any more than 8 minutes, you start to see that brown yolk. That's the egg is overcooked. Literally. So as much as egg is very nutritious, What you also cannot do is overcook it, because you kill every possible
Everything
thing
that's
is in there.
useful, yeah.
And the whole idea of salad is that things are fresh. You're getting the pure nutrition from the ingredients from day one. And you can always alter, because what it is if I'm the type that don't like too much of red onions, I might decide I want spring onions.
Okay.
I might decide I don't even want onions at all. Literally, that's also okay.
Yeah.
And stuff. So you work it out to your taste so that it's easy.
I can't wait to dig into this, actually.
Please do. Please
so thank you very much to Chef Chef Ruby Painso is the CEO of Chef Ruby's Food People. And this was the tuna niçoise salad. I love saying the word. We'll be back after these short messages. Don't go anywhere.
Comprehensive news. The City Newsroom at 8 p.m. on City TV is your most engaging news bulletin on TV.
It's a very oh, that's too bad. The youth are still throwing stones. They are still throwing stones here into our direction. And can I come in? I want to come in. Okay.
Telling your stories better with correspondents covering every corner of the country.
Getting access to potable water is a daily struggle for residents of Kakichekopi and Balekopi communities in the Ada East district of the Greater Accra region.
City Newsroom at 8 p.m. Very fluent with issues that concern you.
This quite me can find Mr. Rabbi. Someone is in a bread. Told you can a 1 week. What do you say?
Is it unfair? What all this? What all this? We are dying! We are dying! We are dying for Choco!
With City Newsroom, your community is now connected.
In this our community, all of us we are very sorry about this school. If we went to see the children, they are so small, even my grandchildren are there, my grandsons are there. If they come out from the school, I have this.
Every day at 8 p.m., City Newsroom is live on City TV.
You're welcome back. This is Breakfast Daily. We are about wrapping up today's edition of Breakfast Daily. It's been a wonderful time. Could you even invite me to taste the salad?
Because there's only one fork, which I
sneak, you came with your fork and you thought, or you think that I didn't bring my fork.
I thought everybody should bring their own fork.
I brought my own fork, so you should have invited me. I was eyeing you. I was eyeing you.
You should have sent me a WhatsApp message.
It looked good though. It looked really good.
It's very nice.
Please prepare some and bring it tomorrow so that I can tell Chef Ruby if you actually paid attention whilst she was giving you all the treats.
I'll bring it, but I'll also ask you to carry some Imodium when you come.
Sure, we will. So it's been a great day, and we had an act, Kobe K. He opened up the show, and he also gave us a performance during the show. And so we have him here to tell us more about himself and how long he's been doing this. Welcome to Breakfast Daily. How are you doing?
Fine.
Great.
Thank you.
Great. So we know Kobe K. What's your actual name? What's your real name?
My name is Desmond Apia.
So why Kobe K? Are you a Tuesday born?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Kobe.
Okay.
How long have you been doing this for?
Almost like 5-6 years now.
5-6 years. Okay. Okay. And what are you working on? What projects are you working on now?
For now, I'm going to school at ATTC.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But what, in terms of your music career, what are you working on? Anything that we can expect?
Yeah, I have some EP coming on.
Okay.
Maybe after Christmas.
Okay.
And I have 1 or 2 videos too. They are working on it.
Okay.
So that one to be out very soon.
Sounds good.
What kind of songs do you sing? Because I heard you sing something on the election.
Yeah. I was talking to Ghanaians.
Okay.
You know, like, it's not all the time that after election, then one will call. The time that they were doing the election, they promised this and that, but after the election, so this time, sit down yourself, open your eyes, and know what you think you will do that will help you.
Okay. Have you done something on coronavirus already?
No.
You haven't?
Yeah.
Do you hope to do something on COVID-19 so that at least in your own local language you can speak to people? Because now it looks like everything has gone back to normal, but it's still around.
For sure.
So you're hoping to do something. All right.
Okay.
All right.
So we'll hear more from you in just a little bit.
Thank you.
Yeah. So how can people find your music?
Oh, you can find my music on SoundCloud, AudioMark, and YouTube too.
And YouTube as well.
Yeah, you can find
and
me.
where can people follow you on social media?
Or you can follow me on Facebook, Kobe KGH. On IG is Kobe K Music.
Okay.
YouTube is Kobe KGH.
Okay.
So just follow me up, and so that means I'll follow them and do more things.
Okay. All right.
Lovely.
So you heard Kobe K there. If you love his music, do follow him on the social media pages that he has mentioned.
Yes, and at 1 o'clock today, don't forget this Voters Diary is coming on radio at 1 o'clock, and at 3 p.m. it'll be here on City TV. It's Ghana's choice. You have to make the choice. All right, voter. Yeah, and